you ever noticed how busy has become the new fine? As in, when we used to ask somebody how they were doing, they would answer fine. But nowadays, everybody answers busy. Now, sometimes people say this just to sound important, but most of the time, the person legitimately means it. They're busy. There are too many responsibilities and not enough time in the day, nor energy in the body to accomplish everything they want to do. Busy has become the default state for many of us. But is this state improving our lives? Certainly not. Statistics indicate that 75% of parents are too busy to read to their children at night. A rising number of children are being placed in daycare and after-school activities. Americans are having a hard time finding opportunity for vacation. About 33% of us are living with extreme stress daily. And nearly 50% of people say they regularly lie awake at night because of stress. This is a problem. Activity is good, but we can become too busy. And it doesn't have to be this way. While busyness seems to be the prevailing condition of the human spirit these days, it is not true of everyone. In other words, busyness is not inevitable. Some people are not busy. They appear calm, collected, in control, but still productive. They're enviable in the life that they live. What do they understand about life that others do not? Over the past 14 years of minimizing my possessions, embracing greater intentionality in life, I've given lots of thought to this question: how do we unbusy our lives but continue to pursue a significant and productive life? And over the years, I've learned a lot from watching others, embracing habits and practices in my own. There is a difference between busy and non-busy people. And here are some of the most significant differences that I've noticed. Number one, unbusy people know their purpose. Unbusy people have thought long and hard about the legacy they want to leave, the goals they choose to pursue, and the significance they wish to discover. These purposes may change or evolve over the course of one's life, but they provide boundaries and a roadmap for the way they want to spend their days and their time. Goals shape us and goals move us. When we become resolved in the goals we pursue, we are less likely to allow distractions to remain in our life. And every day, we are presented with countless choices of how to spend our time, our energy, our effort, our money. The wisest of us recognize we have the power to choose. More on that in a moment. But more than that, we know what we should choose because we are guided by our mission. Second, unbusy people are adamant about saying no to things that don't align with their mission. Of course, sometimes the choices are easy. I was never good at hockey or woodworking or automobile mechanics, for example. But the hardest work is done in the trenches. Staying on mission is about learning to say no to the urgent requests, the popular requests, and the countless opportunities in front of us every day, even good things that we could be doing. Of course, this becomes easier to do the more resolved we become about our purpose in life. So, what is your purpose? What goals do you have for your life? On what mission do you desire to live? And what plan have you developed to help you get there? Pursue that plan with your whole heart and your whole life. Along the way, you'll learn to say no to all the countless opportunities that will distract you from it. Third, unbusy people know they have a choice in life. One of the most life-changing discoveries you can make in the pursuit of an unbusy life is the reality that busyness is a decision we make. We are never forced into a lifestyle of busyness. We control our days, our hours, and our schedules. They are all determined by us. Greg McKeown, in his book Essentialism, says it this way: no one can take away your right to choose. You can't even give it away if you want. You can only forget that you have the power to decide. Now, this reality that we always have a choice in life doesn't mean that there aren't some external demands that might be placed onto our lives. Anybody who has ever parented a young child knows this to be the case. But in almost every case, when you get down to it, it's still a decision that we made to put ourselves into that situation. You may have demands on your time from a boss, but your choice to stay in that job is yours. A newborn baby may require your time for a period of time, but what pursuit in life is more significant than raising your child? You're not a victim, and you're not a martyr. You can show up in your own life. In fact, you are the only one who can. You always have a choice, and unbusy people understand this and walk in that reality. Fourth, unbusy people say no to almost everything. Unbusy people know that they can achieve more by doing less. Seneca wrote, "Everybody agrees that no one pursuit can be successfully followed by a man who is preoccupied with many things." And Warren Buffett, more recently, said it this way: "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything." Now, your definition of very successful may be different than Warren Buffett's, but the truth remains the same. If you desire to be successful in your most valued pursuits, you need to say no to the less important pursuits that distract you from them. So recognize the value in the word no. Learning to say no to less important commitments opens your life to pursue the most important. And you can overcome your fear of saying no by reminding yourself that what my family, friends, and world needs most is the best version of myself that I can possibly be. Number 5, unbusy people don't get distracted by unfulfilling pursuits. You can never accumulate enough of the things that don't lead to fulfillment. If, by definition, a pursuit can never satisfy our soul and longing for meaning and happiness, it's a pursuit with no end, and it will always demand more and more time and energy. No matter how passionately we pursue it, we are left empty at the end of the day. I fear too many of our lives resemble this interaction. We search for happiness, fulfillment, and meaning in all the wrong places. We've searched for happiness in a number of society's greatest offerings and have found most of them lacking. We've searched for happiness in a bigger paycheck, only to discover we immediately desire an even bigger one. We've searched for happiness in a job promotion or recognition, only to discover the accolades don't last. We've searched for happiness in bigger homes, only to discover they're accompanied by burdensome mortgage payments and burdensome responsibilities. We've searched for happiness in fancier cars, only to discover they get scratches and dings just like all the others. We've searched for happiness in alcohol and drugs and sex, only to discover the pleasure disappears by the morning. We search for happiness in large savings account, only to discover that money can't solve all of our problems. When a pursuit does not provide lasting fulfillment, we have two choices. First, we can chase after it harder and harder, investing more of our lives into it, hoping it will eventually satisfy. Or number two, we can reject that pursuit altogether. Choose the latter. The sooner we recognize these pursuits will never satisfy, the easier it is to unburden our lives. Surely, lasting happiness and fulfillment can be found somewhere. There's something deep inside telling us that pursuing fulfillment is not an entirely futile endeavor. We just need to start looking in the right places. And the sooner we recognize that the pursuits I mentioned will never fully satisfy, the easier it is to unbusy our lives. And finally, unbusy people value the significance of rest. One of the reasons many of us keep busy schedules is we fail to recognize the value of rest. But rest is essential to our bodies, our minds, and our souls. Consider the benefits that rest offers: a healthier body, improved work-life balance, less stress, deeper relationships, better opportunity to evaluate our direction, a new outlook, even increased productivity. Yet despite all of the proven benefits, intentionally setting aside regular time for rest is a practice that has become undervalued and underappreciated in our culture. We become overworked, overstressed, and exhausted. Yet setting aside one day each week for rest remains a practice that fewer and fewer people do. Overlooking the importance of rest is certainly not unique to our modern society, but our culture has made it increasingly difficult to take rest without specific intentionality. Rest is not laziness. It is essential for our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. So take time for lunch. Find space in your morning to sit quietly before starting your day. Invest in solitude, meditation, prayer. Find opportunity for breaks at work in between projects. Begin right away cultivating little moments of space and margin in your otherwise busy day. I work hard to keep an entire day of rest as an important part of my life and weekly routine, but it's an upward battle that requires relentless intentionality. Schedule rest on your calendar, then guard it at all costs. If we are wise, we will take our lives seriously. We will seek to develop our talents and skills and grow in our abilities and potential to be our best. We will realize, however, that this does not occur in a life that is burdened by an overfilled, cluttered, busy schedule. As unbusy people, we can create margin in life by removing inessential pursuits, and in so doing, we will live lives focused on the things that matter most.